Welcome, Capricorn, to the Temple of Consciousness. Please come in. This is your June 2024 Tarot Astrology forecast. Relevant to you if your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign is Capricorn. Now, dear Capricorn, you were the very last sign I did last month. My return to the readings, and in recognition of that, you're going to be the first one I do this month, June. And I want to thank everyone for the wonderful texts and emails that I've gotten from you, welcoming me back to YouTube, and it touches my heart. Thank you very much. I appreciate also any support that you can give, either through a direct donation, or if you would like to pick one of my private readings. There's also one that's very similar that I offer for a private reading, very similar to this kind of reading. It is a 4-card spread that I use with the same positions. And so if you would like to support me, that's only $25, and I would really appreciate the support. Thank you. So let's start your reading. For June 2024, the most important astrological aspect that I think will have relevance to the June reading for all 12 star signs is the Jupiter entrance into Gemini. Jupiter has a relatively long stay within any sign, and when it changes signs, it is at its peak in power, and as it moves through the sign, you find more and more experiences related to the aspect. So for you, Jupiter in Gemini falls in your 6th house. Now, Jupiter, symbolically, is a planet that symbolizes expansion, abundance, growth, productivity, inspiration, creativity, intellectual and spiritual exploration and expansion. And that it is in your 6th house is very significant, because Gemini and Jupiter join together, join forces, creating almost an ideal union. Jupiter's expansion, optimism, growth, opportunity-seeking characteristics join with Gemini. Gemini is the intellectual sign, the sign associated with technology, with communication, modern, quick, fast communication. And it falls in your 6th house, the house of work, the house of everyday experiences, the house that contains also your learning experiences, study, intellectual growth. So the combination of these two things, that it is in your sixth house, Jupiter and Gemini in your sixth house, enlivens this aspect of your chart, giving you a lot of opportunity for growth intellectually and technologically, and in the area of your skills and talents. So that is the primary astrological aspect that we're looking at. Now we can begin your tarot reading for June. Let me take a moment just to shuffle a little and talk to you for a while. I failed to mention that there was another way that perhaps if you would like to support these readings and become a member of my humble community of tarot lovers. My Patreon page has now several of the major arcana cards that I've been posting. They will help you to understand each and every one of the major arcana in ways that are going to be very helpful in your own learning and understanding of the magic and the mystery of the tarot. So these cards are a little unwieldy because they're so large. But let me shuffle just a little more. I want to get as much randomness in here as possible. So let's cut and start your forecast. In the position of the overall energy or mood of the month of June, Capricorn, we have you. This is the Queen of Pentacles. She is the symbol of all the female earth signs, and you are an earth sign. It has relevance to you if you're male as well. It's the energy of motherhood, of parenting. She is the ultimate good mother. She is the ultimate good boss. She loves her home. She loves her business. She loves her children. She loves her employees. She loves her co-workers. She's cooperative. She leads with common sense. She leads by producing, by practically applying her knowledge. Now, tying this in with your sixth house, you expand your skills organically. You expand your technological understanding organically, naturally. This is not forced learning. This is doing or learning by doing, learning by doing. She represents financial and domestic harmony with Now, Jupiter in Gemini, in your 6th, she also represents the practical application of your knowledge towards things that have communication, networking, modern technological understanding. So it's the wedding of the Queen of Pentacles' practical skills with a more ambitious exploration of technology. But not, again, this is not forced. You do this organically, trial and error, where the learning comes from simply applying yourself. She's also a wonderful entrepreneur. So there could be some kind of entrepreneurial venture having to do with modern technology or communication. This could be writing as well. Creative, creative aspects of communication. So writing, speaking, lecturing, giving voice to your enterprise, to your project, to your concerns, sharing with others. Maybe again through modern technology of some kind, but it's a beautiful thing, this combination. So let's move on to the second position, which is the position of what will challenge you. And we have another Pentacles card for you, Capricorn. We have the Page of Pentacles. You might be challenged by a young person or young people. Young people are often much more adept at understanding current technology. So you might be challenged by those younger than you to up your game in that field, to create something, to initiate something, to launch something, a new venture, perhaps you're looking for a new project, or you're presented with a new project, and all the elements that I've described before concerning the 6th house and Jupiter in Gemini now is tied together with a challenge of bringing a more youthful perspective to this area of concern. Again, the 6th house having to do with your everyday communications, with your ability to upgrade your skills, to become more current, and or a child like you, an earth sign, maybe challenging you in other ways. Simply, again, because the Queen of Pentacles came up, they might be challenging you in how you have to care for them, what they need, discerning their needs, and fulfilling those needs. But it's again about learning, adapting and integrating organically into a new system, working with young people, initiating or igniting your ambition, having a more youthful perspective on matters of practical utility. That is your challenge. Look at that. So, in the position of the unexpected, we have the Four of Cups. Here we have an image of someone seated underneath a tree with their legs and their arms folded. Out of a cloud is presented to our protagonist a single cup. In front of him are 3 other cups. His focus is on the 3 cups that he has already acquired. Cups are about feelings, about emotion, about sensitivity, about relationship. The protagonist has a body language that speaks of resistance, of defiance, of rejection, of indifference, of a defensive attitude to something that is being offered you. Something new or something is being offered to you. That has emotional resonance. But what's unexpected is that you reject or scrutinize or in some way are alienated from what is being offered. And instead, you prefer what you already have, what you've already experienced, what you've already acquired, the relationships you've already invested in, or the emotional circumstance that is familiar to you is more attractive than the new one, which is unknown. So there's a rejection, a sort of a standoffishness here, which can be translated into your work, not feeling that the new project or the new incentive opportunity being given to you is what you want on an emotional level. So that cup, that single cup, can represent many things. But again, if we pull it back to the 6th house, it could have something to do with modern technology and your ability to communicate. You're maybe cautious in your communications. Maybe you're cautious or reticent in how you communicate what you know, your skills. Or there's hesitation in acquiring something or accepting something to do that has some emotional resonance for you. So I try to keep this as neutral and broad as possible so that hopefully you can find some way to identify with what's being said. So finally, we have a reversal in the position of the outcome. What is the ultimate conclusion, or what all of this leads to, or how the month ends and moves into the next month. And we have a reversal, which is very interesting. We have the Five of Swords reversed. Now, the Five of Swords indicates conflict, a battle, which you win, a battle of the mind, a battle of wits, a battle of intellect. Again, to do perhaps with the sixth house, all those concerns of the sixth house. But it indicates victory over another. The only difference here is that it's reversed. So that victory is bittersweet because your opponent, it's not going to give you a lot of satisfaction to win this argument or to overpower the other. But you will, of course. Being a Capricorn is probably a universal problem for you, because Capricorns are heavily endowed with superior skills of survival and leadership. And they're often the envy of those around them. You're natural born leaders, because you have such a tremendous way of evaluating situations, enterprises, knowledge, and coming to very sound conclusions, which give you a sense of power and confidence that you lead by. This attribute is a wonderful attribute, but Capricorns can be overpowering to others. They can be so incredibly gifted that it's often too easy for you to overwhelm your opponents or those who might not agree with you intellectually. This is, there is joy in victory here. Nonetheless, even though it's reversed, there is joy in your victory, but not joy in how you attained that victory. There's some element of how that victory was attained that may have a sort of negative impact on those whom you've defeated, or maybe even a sense of guilt and feeling that you might have been a little bit too strong, too insistent, too matter of fact. So that's just a warning. So really, what the entire reading says to me is that there's going to be a lot of advancement on an intellectual level as well as on a practical, everyday level. You're going to bring something to a new level of sort of electrifying concepts, ideas, and making them practically real, bringing them into a practical level of manifestation. And so that is your June. Not all fun and games for you yet. The Queen of Pentacles, though, revels in her home, in beauty, and in the beauty of her own physicality. She revels in her love for her children, for that which is beautiful. She tries to create beauty all around her, and that can be a very satisfying element of what you'll experience in June. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for coming to the reading this month. Thank you for all your messages, and thank you for whatever support you can give. I also appreciate that. But your messages mean so much to me. Thank you. And I will see you in July. Happy summer, Capricorn, and all my love. Namaste.